Hi guys, welcome back to Nunley Math. I'm Aaron Nunley. Thank you so much for joining me here today as we continue our discussion of percents and percent applications. In our previous video, we talked a little bit about what a percent was, and I introduced you to some basic application problems that involve percents. For example, this was a problem from our last video. It says Ethan's working as an ornithologist, someone who studies birds. He's been told that 80% of the birds in a particular area are American robins, and so far he's been able to track 274 birds. If what he has been told is correct, how many would you expect to be American robins? And I said that we want to notice that we're trying to find a part, a percent, and a whole, because some part is some percent of some total. And when we read through this problem, we said we know that 80% of the birds are American robins. So we know our percentage right away, and we know that it is a percent of the birds, meaning the birds are our total. And then over here we see they are American robins. So the 80% and the American robins are the same thing, meaning the robins are 80% of the birds. And then we just go through and fill in the appropriate information. The robins are our part. We don't know how many there are. The 80% is given to us, and we know that there were a total of 274 birds that he tracked. And once we had it set up, we said the rest was pretty straightforward. We would just use the means extremes property to go through and calculate how many birds we would expect to be American robins. We said it was about 219. And we did several examples of this. What I want to do today is actually focused a little bit more on the vocabulary involved in percent problems, because a lot of percent problems will use some terms that may or may not be familiar to your students. So we're going to use the same process over and over again today. The difference is going to be that we're going to use some vocabulary that might be new. For example, the word discount. A discount is an amount of money subtracted from the price of an item. It may be a dollar amount or a percent. So when we talk about discounts, we're going to deal with problems like this. The Segway 9Bot S Smart Self-Balancing Electric Transporter pictured above is listed as costing $489.99 on Amazon. Suppose it is put on sale for Amazon's Prime Day sales event. During Prime Day, you can purchase the 9Bot for $399.99. What is the percent of the discount? Now, this phrase, percent of the discount, is extremely important because they're asking us the percent the price has changed. And this is where a lot of students run into trouble. The discount is a percent of our original price. So we need to make sure we know what the discount is. Since the discount is a percent of the original, notice I put the discount in the place of the part. I've put the original price in the place of the whole. And I'm going to go through and fill in the pieces of information that I know. For example, do we know how much the discount is? Well, by definition, it is an amount subtracted from the price of the item. The item was originally $489.99. We lowered the price to $399.99, which means the amount of the discount was $90. A lot of students, when they see this, will simply place $399 and $489 into these blanks without realizing what it is that the part, or what is the part that we're looking at. We need to know that it's the discount, and we need to know what that term means. We go over here. Do we know what percent the discount is? Well, that was the question that was asked, so that is the unknown. What we do know is the original price, which was $489.99. Now, that's the hard part. The rest is pretty simple. We're just going to cross multiply the $489.99 times x and the 90 times 100. Simplify this by taking 100 times 90 and then dividing both sides by the $489.99 to get our value, 18.36. Now, the question was, what is the percent of the discount? I went ahead and rounded that to the nearest tenth of a percent. It is about an 18.4% discount. Here again, if we read these problems with intention, making sure we're trying to find parts and wholes, the problem becomes a whole lot easier. Don't get in a habit of just grabbing whatever numbers they give you and trying to stick them into the problem. Discount is a term you will need to know. If you have a spot to write that down, I would put that someplace where I would not forget it. Here's another discount problem. I'd recommend pausing the video and trying this on your own. I'm going to assume that you've already done that. I'm going to work it out. Once you've done it, check and see whether what you've done matches what I'm doing. The Under Armour outlet store loves to hand out 20% off coupons to their loyal customers. The forefront rain jacket shown below was on sale for $60.99. If I have a 20% off coupon, how much do I save? Notice the question here is, if you have 20% off, there's your percentage, how much do I save? The savings is the part we're looking for. The discount or savings is a percent of the original price. And so I can fill that in. Do you know the dollar amount of the discount? Well, no, that's the question that's asked. Do we know the percent of the discount? 20% off. Do we know the original price? $60.99. And there's the hard part. The rest is simply a matter of cross-multiplying using your means extremes property. Notice that unlike in the previous video, I'm not drawing the circles there. As we get better and better at this, we won't necessarily need to do that. I did my $60.99 times 20. I still have this times 100, so I'm going to divide both sides by 100, and you get $12.20. That's the amount of your discount. Notice there's a second question here. What would the final cost be? Well, if it was originally $60.99 and I got a discount of $12.20, $58.79 is going to be the price that you paid. Notice that is a really nasty typo. It's not $58.79. Hopefully you realize that that would be $48.79. And I'm going to need to go back and fix that in my slideshow. Sales tax is another type of percent problem. Notice that sales tax is an amount of money added on to the price of an item to support state or local government. Your tax is usually a percentage or a percent times the original price. It's a part of the original price. So the Liberty Center shopping complex, which is near where I live, is subject to a special sales tax rate of 7.250%. Notice there's a percentage there. The Build-A-Bear store at Liberty Center sells the child, or better known as Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian show on Disney Plus, for the price listed. Notice they have it for $44. That's another value. What is the total price you would need to pay for this item? Now, in this case, we're going to have an item that is originally $44. That's my original. And they're going to charge me a tax. That tax is a part. The tax is a percent of the original price. So when I go to put these values in, I'm just going to plug in the things that I know. Do I know how much the tax is? I do not. Do I know the percentage of the tax? 7.250. Do I know the original price? $44. That's the difficult part. Once you know that, you can cross-multiply, simplify, and divide by 100. Your your tax was $3.19. Notice that is not the question that was asked. The question that was asked is, what is the total price? Well, your total price is going to be the original price plus whatever the tax is. So in this case, it was originally $44. That goes to the Build-A-Bear store. Then $3.19 goes to the government, which means you're actually going to pay $47.19. Notice there were two things we needed to figure out in this problem, even though the question only asked us one of those. Want to try another one? Commission. Commission is a portion of the cost of an item that is given to the salesperson as their salary when they sell that item. Commission is used a lot for auto sales and home sales. Let's see what the problem says. The house shown below is listed for sale at a price of $164,900. That's our original, or whatever we started with. It's the original price. A real estate agent typically earns 6% of the selling price. Notice the 6% is a part of the selling price. That's the whole. How much would an agent selling the house earn at that rate? Well, the commission is a percent of the selling price. So I can fill that in. Do we know the dollar amount they earned in commission? No, that's what's asked. How much would they earn? That's my unknown. Do we know the percent of the commission? Well, that's the 6%. Do you know the price of the home? That's your $164,900. Using the means extremes property, we come up with 164,900 times 6 is equal to 100x. Little simplifying, divide both sides by the 100, and you get $9,894. That's how much the real estate agent would earn, $9,894. You getting the hang of this? Once you know what these words mean, and you realize that most of the time they are just a percent of some original total, it really isn't too bad. You may want to try this one on your own. I'm going to go ahead and work through it, assuming you have. A tip. A tip is an extra amount of money added onto your bill as a thank you for good service. It's typically given to a waiter, a concierge at a hotel, or a delivery driver. So you enjoy eating Chinese food. Since you're stuck at home without a driver's license, your mom suggests that you have Uber Eats deliver your dinner. Your bill comes to $17.85. Notice that's your total bill. You give the driver an extra $5 as a tip. What percent was your tip? Notice the percent is your tip. So when I go to do my part, percent, and total, my tip is a percent of my meal price. And I go to set that up. Notice I've put the tip in the position of the part. I've put the original price in the position of the whole. Do we know the dollar amount of the tip? It was a $5 tip. Do we know the percent that is the tip? Well, no, that's the question. That's my unknown. Do we know the original price? $17.85. There again, that's the hard part. We're going to cross multiply, simplify, and divide both sides by the 1785 to get 28,011. Notice that is roughly a 28% tip. Let's try this, a markup or a markdown. Those are changes in the cost of an item. They can be an increase, a markup, or a decrease, a markdown. A mattress factory produces mattresses for stores to sell. Suppose the factory sells a queen mattress set to a store at the mall for $479. That's what the factory sells it to the store at. At the mall, the store applies a markup. Remember, that's an increase in the price to the mattress and then sells it for $750. What was the percent of the markup? Notice what is the same as the percent. So we don't know the part that's the same as the percent, but we do know that the original price is always our whole. So the markup is a percent of the original price. So the markup is my part. Do I know how much it was marked up? Well, let's see. It was $479. They raised it to $750. That's an increase of $271. Do I know the percent? I do not. That's the question. Do I know what it originally cost? It originally cost $479. Do a little cross multiplying with the means extremes property, a little simplifying, and divide both sides by 479. You get 56.576. The markup was about 56% of the original price, 56.6. Now, keep in mind that the $479 was where we started. They raised the price $271. If you were to compare the $271 to the $479, notice that this is a little more than half of the price. So they took all the $479, added 56% more to get the new price. The idea here is to help us understand, first of all, that there's specific vocabulary. And when we're reading the questions, we have to read every question carefully when trying to work those out. Take this, for example. After raising the price of a gasoline by 15%, the price of the gasoline cost $2.49 per gallon. What was the original price of the gasoline? Couple things here. Notice they raised the price 15%. That's the percent of the increase. But notice what we have here. After the increase, the price was $2.49. Now that's going to mess with our thinking just a little bit because in this case, the new price is what's given to us, the $2.49. The new price, since we're given that, that's going to be a percent of the old price or the original price. Remember, the original price is always our total. Do we know the new price? Yes, we do. When you think about your percents, keep in mind that the new price is not 15% of the old price. The new price is the old price increased by 15%. The new price is 115% of the original price. And then we're asked the original price. Keep in mind, you have to watch what pieces of information you are given. They could have just as easily have said the price changed by a certain amount, and then you would have had to put the percent of the increase here. But since they gave you the new, you got to play with the numbers just a little bit. Once again, that's the hard part. The rest is simply solving a proportion. The original price was about $2.16. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. I know I did do the solving of these proportions pretty quick, but at this point in our series, you should be pretty good at solving the proportion. The key here is vocabulary and then getting the numbers in the right place. The slower you read these problems, the more you think about the pieces, and the more you keep your original models in mind, the easier this is going to be. Hopefully that's been useful for you. I do appreciate you joining us. If this has been helpful, please give us a big old thumbs up and ring that bell to turn on your notifications so you will receive all the new information coming out of None in Math. I wish you all the very, very best. You'll take care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye.